Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. The Sephora Spring Sale starts tomorrow. It's going from April 10th to April 20th, I believe. I'm going to write it on the screen. I'm going to double check, but as always, the sale opens up to VIB Rouge members first, and then it opens up to VIB members and beauty insiders. So you get 20, 15, or 10% off depending on your tier. This year, I wanted to do a roundup of all the newer products that I've been playing around with, products that have launched this year. A couple of them launched last year in kind of like towards the end of the year that I'm still really into that I think are worth mentioning. But for the most part, this is going to be a new beauty at Sephora roundup, things that I have personally tried, tested, and enjoyed, keeping things concise. I'm not the type of person that, even though I have a beauty channel and I do review beauty products, I don't go out and buy every single launch. I don't even go out and buy every single launch that I'm personally interested. I kind of try to reel it in, and I try to be mindful of my beauty consumption, and as mindful as can be when having this hobby and this outlet. I want to be useful, a useful reference, a useful guide to you, to my audience, but at the same time, I dislike feeling overwhelmed and having too much stuff. So I'm constantly doing like one in, one out. I'm constantly editing and curating my collection because my goal is to have a collection of products that genuinely brings me joy every single time I use them. Let's start with foundation. The two newest foundations that have made their way inside my makeup bag that you can get at Sephora are the Ilia Skin foundation from m.ph by Mary Phillips and the Makeup by Mario Seamless, oh my gosh, what's the name of this? Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation. This came out last year in the fall, I believe, but this is still new to me, okay? I really enjoy both of these. The m.ph foundation is a lot more luminous. This is a very luminous, light to medium coverage foundation. Great if you're into dewier finishes. It's very pretty on the skin. This for me is like an evening foundation. It's not the type of foundation that I would wear all day, every day, because I do have combination oily skin. I think if you have drier skin, you will really appreciate this. And I don't know, it might depend, the finish kind of might depend on your skin prep. With me, even if I don't do a dewy skin prep, this still looks dewy on me. On some people, this doesn't look as dewy, so I don't know. Maybe my skin just kind of enhances the luminosity of this product. It's not the type of look that I'm into all the time, but it's nice to have on hand, and it does wear really nicely despite its luminosity. It just kind of smells like corn puffs, and it is it's a present scent. It doesn't linger on the skin, but you do smell it as you're first applying it. I wear this in the shade Light 90C. So if you're into dewy foundations, I think this could be worth a try. My personal favorite foundation that I've tried over the past year, and it still continues to be a favorite, is the Makeup by Mario one. This is has more of a natural satin finish on the skin, and it just kind of blurs the texture of the skin. It makes things look really nice and smooth. It has light to medium coverage. You can build it up to medium, but I like to kind of just stay in the lighter coverage realm. When it comes to foundation, I try to just do one pump, spread it out all over the face, either with a brush or with a beauty blender. I wear this in the shade 8N, and yeah, I just love this foundation. This works for me year round, no matter the occasion. I can wear this all day long. I can wear this as an evening out foundation. So for me, for my concerns, my personal preferences, if I had to choose between the two, I would choose the Makeup by Mario, but they are quite different products. So it depends if you need more luminosity, if you need more hydration, you will like the m.ph if you like a luminous, glowy finish. But if you want something that sets more, something that just gives you a natural, perfected look, but still not too overwhelming, not too makeup-y, I really love the Makeup by Mario. Speaking of m.ph, I also really like the underpainting palette. I have this in the shade Light. There aren't that many shades of this palette. I think it still only comes in 3 shade variations. For me, this palette, like the shade Light, I can use every single shade in this. And while I don't use it for the underpainting method every single time I use it, these work well just on top of makeup too. You don't have to just use these for underpainting. All the shades, like I said, all the shades work on my skin, and depending on where I want to add some light, some shadow, I play around with these, I mix and match, and they are very easy, melty, sheer but buildable, super, super effortless textures. And the brush is phenomenal. So I would highly recommend. I know it's an added cost, but if you have been looking at the underpainting palette, if you've been curious about it, you want to maybe add it to your collection, I highly recommend getting the brush. The CL Skin Tint is a little bit, it's a little similar to the m.ph, but the CL has more coverage, it's a little bit thicker, whereas the m.ph is a thinner, more fluid formula, and on my skin, the m.ph is glowier. When you're initially applying them, they look very similar on the skin, but as the day goes on, because this contains mineral sunscreen ingredients, this does dry down. Which is a pro for me because I have combination oily skin. My skin produces more oil throughout the day. So the zinc and the titanium dioxide sunscreen ingredients in here kind of suck up the oil as the day goes on. But if you have more dry skin, this could be too drying for you as the day goes on because of the mineral sunscreen ingredients. The other thing that's new that I've been enjoying is the Tinted Blur Balm from Laura Mercier. I have this in shade 2, and I like to use this almost as a light sculpting contour type of shade. This shade doesn't, it's too dark for me to use all over the face. I think if I wanted this to be the type of product that I can use all over the face, shade 1 might be a better match for me, but the brand had sent me shade 2, 3, and 4. It's a really nice sheer balm. It's kind of like, you know, that the Fenty skin tint stick. This is kind of like that, but in a pot form. And I really, really like this color as a very subtle contour shade. It's a balmy texture, but it's not too greasy, it's not too silicone-y. It just kind of sets down to a very subtle velvety finish, but it's not heavy or cakey. And if you're somebody that struggles with large pores or texture on your skin, this really blurs things nicely. I think the shade range is a little bit odd, but it is quite sheer, so there is flexibility in the shades, but I would assume if I had a shade that worked well all over the face, this could just be a super easy product to just buff on and go if I'm in a rush and I just want like a little something on my face. This type of product is super easy. It's kind of how I use my cushion foundations, you know? Moving on to concealers, there are 2 new concealers that I've personally tried that I enjoy that are sold at Sephora. First is the Prada concealer. I love this. This is a lighter coverage, like a light to medium coverage concealer, I'd say. Very quick, self-setting, super thin, very natural on the skin, and it sets down to almost like a natural satin finish. I like the fact that I don't have to set it with powder. It wears very well on my skin. I use this in shade LN3. For a little bit more coverage and a little bit more luminosity, the Patrick Ta concealer has been great. I have this in the shade Light Peachy Neutral 2. This reminds me of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer, but with a little bit more coverage and better lasting power. I have more in-depth reviews and wear tests with both of these that I will link for your reference. There have been a lot of concealer launches this year. It's been the year of concealer so far. I'm hearing great things about the new Ilia concealer as well. The Milk Makeup concealer is also supposed to be great. There's the Charlotte Tilbury concealer if you want more full coverage. So there are a lot of options. These are just the 2 that I've personally tried. An older concealer that I still consider one of my top favorites when I want a little bit more coverage, the Haus Labs. Haus Labs is still my favorite. I'm wearing the Haus Labs concealer today. Actually love using it with the Haus Labs brush. I used to use this with the, I used to use the BK Beauty, the A106, I think. The one, I don't have a clean one right now, but you know what I'm talking about. The one that went viral, the one that's like a little kitten paw brush. The Haus Labs brush is a bit more dense, so I get a bit more coverage with the Haus Labs brush, and it just kind of fits the grooves of my under eye area perfectly. So I've really been into this combo, and I use shades 11, 13, and 21 depending on the level of brightening. Obviously shade 11 is the brightest one, and shade 21 matches the skin on my face perfectly, and then shade 13 is kind of in the middle, just a pinch more peachy, so it works well under the eyes to counteract any weird shadows I have under there. I'd say if I had to choose like my top favorite concealers, Haus Labs would be number 1, Prada would be number 2, Victoria Beckham would be number 3. That one's like very, very sheer and glowy. And then Patrick Ta and Westman Atelier would be tied in 4th place. I got the new the cream bronzing compact from Westman Atelier. The official name of it is the Suntone Bronzing Creme. I have this in the shade Soleil Parfait 1, which is the lightest shade, and I really like this. The formula is beautiful. I love that you have 2 shades to choose from, and it's a very velvety formula. When you're swatching it on the hand, it feels like it would be very matte, but on the skin, it's not. It still lets whatever luminosity your skin has, it still lets it shine through. And you have 2 different shades with slightly different undertones. So this is the lightest shade. This is a bit more neutral. It's not too red, it's not too pink, it's not too orange, it's not too peachy. It's a really well-balanced shade. And then there's like a slightly deeper, more golden shade to really enhance the tan wherever you need it. I have tried it with a synthetic brush. I've tried it with, you know, just like a regular powder brush with natural bristles. Both work really well with it. It's very, very easy to blend, easy to build. It's a very flattering, low maintenance kind of bronzer. It's my favorite type of product. And yeah, Westman Atelier just really, really nailed it with this. I can just use this as a one and done. It's a really great bronzer shade for me. I just love it. I love it. I don't have the biscuit anymore. I used to use the contour stick and biscuit as a bronzer for many years, but I used that up. I have the powder version of biscuit from the powder cheek compact that I can swatch next to it so that you can see. The bronzer is definitely warmer than biscuit. It's definitely a product that adds warmth to the skin, but the undertones are very well thought out so that it adds warmth without pulling orange. I'm also going to swatch my Farrah Homidi bronzer in the shade Bois. Again, this is a different formula. It's a powder product, not a cream, but thought it'd be useful to have just as a shade reference. A lot more cool toned. This is almost like a rosy, has a rosy hue to it in comparison. So this is the lightest shade in the Westman Atelier Cream Compact, the darker, warmer shade in the Westman Atelier Compact. This is Westman Atelier Powder Biscuit, and then this is Farrah Homidi Bois Bronzer. But here's the thing. Is this going to change your life? No. If you are already overwhelmed and you're drowning in bronzers, you already have cream bronzers that you really, really love, you don't need to go out and buy this right away. This is a permanent product. It will still be there when you're ready for a new bronzer. Enjoy what you have first, especially if you already have a lot of cream bronzers. Cream products go bad faster than powders, so focus on the stuff that you have first, and then next time you can get the Westman Atelier. For cheeks, I have a blush that is new to me. It's not a super new launch or anything, but this is one of the newer shades of the Haus Labs Color Fuse Blush Bombs. This is a shade Glassy Ginger, and this is stunning. This is the neutral pink subtle blush of my dreams. It looks very cool toned when I'm swatching it on my hand, but a lot of stuff pulls warmer on my cheeks. So the fact that this has that extra coolness, when I apply this to my cheeks, it is that perfect neutral subtle pink that I've been looking for. So I really, really love this so much. This gives me the effect that I wanted Rhode Sleepy Girl to give me. I like the Rhode, but the Rhode is just a bit more intense, whereas the Haus Labs Glassy Ginger is just a bit more subtle, not quite as intense. And then the Patrick Ta Not Too Much blush it pulls warmer on me and it looks a bit brighter. Haus Labs Glassy Ginger, Rhode Sleepy Girl, and then Patrick Ta Not Too Much. You see how much warmer the Patrick Ta ends up looking on my skin? And then yeah, the Glassy Ginger is just, oh, it is the perfect cream, like sheer nude pink cream blush that I've been looking for. It is dewy, kind of similar to the way the Merit Flush Bombs feel, but a bit more pigmented than the Merit. And on me, the Haus Labs last a little bit longer. It's been a great year for lip launches, and I would recommend all of these formulas wholeheartedly, starting with the sheerest. We have the eadem Le Chouchou Lip Softening Balm. This is my holy grail lip balm. I have the clear version, and I use it morning and night. It's thick, it's shiny, it's long lasting on the lips, and it does have a little bit of a chemical exfoliant in it that kind of dissolves dead skin cells, and it just makes my lips feel so much smoother and softer. They launched 2 new shades for spring. We have Sakura Shaved Ice, which is a really, really pretty soft petal pink color. And this smells really good. This smells like vanilla cupcakes. It's got like a vanilla dessert scent. Then we have Chateau Rose, which is a sheer pink shimmer. You can see here, it is quite sheer and the shimmer is very, very pretty and subtle. This has like a fruity candy kind of scent. Just for comparison's sake, this was the shade Guava Fresca. This is more pigmented. It's like a coral color, and this smells like guava and passion fruit. So it has like a very authentic tropical fruit scent. My other 2 lip favorites are the Ilia Overglaze lip glosses. These are delightful. They are a joy to use. They're not going to be as thick and as shiny as the eadem, but the term glaze is a perfect way to describe it. It's not a glassy shine. It is just a subtle glaze, and this is the type of product that will leave your lips feeling more moisturized throughout the day as you're reapplying it. My favorite color is Crystalline. This is a really gorgeous nude pink shade. This paired with Makeup by Mario Smoky Pink is one of my favorite nude lip combos. And then I also have the shade Figure, which is a slightly darker berry shade. This is a good zoom. I call these zoom lips, where I just have it on hand at my desk. It's a great type of color to just pop on right before I have a call. Sometimes when I'm on camera on like a webcam, I just want a little bit more pigment on my lips. I just want something that's really hydrating, that just kind of boosts the natural color of my lips a little bit. We have the new Westman Atelier Hydrobalm tinted lipsticks. These, as you can see, I already have 4 of them. These have been such a delight. I adore these. It's that perfect, effortless, easy lipstick. It's not too shiny. It's not matte. You throw it in your bag. You can reapply throughout the day without a mirror. Even the bold colors are still super approachable. Right now, I'm wearing 2 of them mixed together. I'm wearing Ballerine and Pop. They nailed it with the colors. There are so many great colors to choose from. A lot of good neutrals, warms, cool toned options. No matter your taste, you will find a color that you love. And like I said, my favorite thing about these, the most surprising thing about these is just how approachable, especially the bolder colors are. So this is Ballerine, this is Juice, this is Pop, and this is Brick. The packaging is beautiful. It's very weighted. It feels good in the hand. It's magnetic, and these are refillable. at some point we should be able to get refills for them. The only con is that if you're somebody that stores your lip products kind of sitting down in a drawer, these, because of the magnetic component, these will repel each other. So you can't neatly stack them laying next to each other in a drawer. I have the same issue with some of my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks as well. It doesn't have any fragrance or flavor, but there is a very subtle cooling sensation when you first apply them, but then the sensation disappears. It doesn't linger on the lips at all. I forgot to mention the Ilia Overglaze lip glosses are completely unscented, no flavor, no taste. And then obviously the eadem products, they will have different scents depending on the color, but the clear version is unscented. And then the last lip product I wanted to talk about are two new shades from the Violette FR Lip Nectars. This is another one of my favorite lip formulas. Again, it's been a really, really good few months for lip launches. I'm a big fan of this formula. They launched two new shades this year and they sent them to me to try. And both of these are bolder reds. So we have a warm red and then a cooler toned red. The warmer red is called Souci d'Automne. Right here, it's a nice burnt sienna shade. This is kind of similar to Westman Atelier Brick. On my hand, the lip nectar from Violette is a little bit warmer. And then the darker, cooler tone, like almost like a berry shade, is called Amarante Noir. Yes, Amarante Noir. Very, very pretty. These are, again, super comfortable, super moisturizing. They are lip stains, so they will leave a stain behind. And the stain is, you have a lot of control depending on how much product you're depositing and how long you're letting it sit on the lips. It's not a drying stain at all. Sometimes lip stains can be quite drying. They can feel quite weird. This truly feels nourishing and moisturizing. I was selfishly hoping that they would launch more nude shades. My favorite shade in the lineup remains Rose de Moab, which is a warmer caramel tone. Obviously, since this is a lighter color, the stain that it leaves behind won't be as pronounced as the stain of these two, but this just looks so good on the lips. It looks very warm swatched on the back of my hand, but on the lips, especially since my lips are more cool tone, there's that cool mauvey pigment to my lips. When I put that Rose de Moab on top, it ends up neutralizing. Like the caramel tones with the cool tones of my lips, they end up neutralizing each other, and the result is really, really, a really, really pretty lip. So if you haven't tried this formula, it's still one of my top recommendations. And yeah, if you're into reds, the two new shades are stunning. And the last thing I want to talk about is an oldie that's come back. So it's technically new, but not really, but it's still one of my favorite makeup products that I own, so it's worth a shout out. It's the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette. Everything I like in an eyeshadow palette. It's got all the types of colors that I gravitate towards. This is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'm not wearing any of the shimmers, just the mattes. Super easy to blend, easy to mix and match. It's finally back. It was limited edition, then they brought it back for a limited amount of time, and then now it's back for good. So hooray. Other eye product that I am still absolutely in love with that I would highly recommend is the Sarah Creal eyeliner. This is a phenomenal gel eyeliner formula that's long wearing. It doesn't smudge, it doesn't crease. If you have oily eyelids, if you have hooded eyelids, this will not transfer. It will really stay put. It sets quite fast, so it's not the type of formula that's super smudgy, but if longevity is your goal, this will be your best friend. And these are my most used shades. I have Everyday Taupe, I have Copper, and then I have Twilight Smoke. These are my top three most worn shades. I'm wearing the shade Copper today. Everyday Taupe has a matte finish. Copper has a very, very slight satin sheen to it. And then Twilight Smoke over here is going to be the most sparkly one. They've launched some new shades since as well, but these are still on heavy, heavy rotation for me. Trying my hardest to wipe them away with my makeup wipe, and they're still on there. They're very committed to remain on my arm for the rest of the day. One last honorable mention is this oil. It's a fragrance oil that's new-ish from Nest. This is going to be perfect for summer. It's called Watermelon Peony, and this is so joyful. I love the smell of watermelon Jolly Ranchers, and I've been searching for a watermelon Jolly Rancher fragrance for years. There's a perfume called Wave Child that came close that I really enjoyed, but that one was a bit more beachy and coconutty. This is pure watermelon Jolly Rancher essence. It is delightful. It's watermelon, pear, and peony. Obviously, it's a fragrance oil, so it comes in a dropper. I love just applying this, you know, to my pulse points. Because it is a fragrance oil, it does sit a little bit closer to the skin. It doesn't have crazy projection or anything, but it does last on my skin all day. And it just makes me happy. This is a newer fragrance that I'm just thrilled to incorporate into my routine and to wear more, especially as the weather gets nicer. There's also a new Glossier perfume that I'm curious about. It's called Glossier You Sois, I think, and it sounds interesting. It's supposed to be beachy, and all the notes are things that I'm into, so I'm excited to check that out. I want to go to the store and smell it first. There's also a new Dead Cool Milk. It's called Mineral Milk that I'm curious about because that also sounds really delightful. So those two are on my list to check out. Along with Jo Malone, there's a yuzu, a new Jo Malone yuzu thing, and I love citrus. I personally love Jo Malone. I love light citrusy florals and airy. It's the perfect brand for summer fragrances, especially if you live somewhere that gets quite humid. You want something that's really light and airy. You can't be wearing heavy stuff when the air is hot and heavy. So I'm a big fan of Jo Malone. Yeah, so those are the three fragrances that are on my radar, but if you are Watermelon Jolly Rancher girl, check this out. They make a smaller like travel size too. Other than that, if you have any questions about any of the makeup products, let me know in the comments. I will link the videos with longer, more in-depth reviews and application of the complexion products if you want to see that in action. Let me know what you're getting in the sale. Let me know what's in your cart. I'm nosy. I love to know what other people are getting. It's my favorite thing. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.